When your student is homesick, your brain jumps into panic mode and tells you 5 lies that aren't true and make you respond based on fear and not fact. Today, I'm exposing those lies and giving you some mental reframes so you can support your student with a clear mind. Oh, and lie 5 eliminates one of the most powerful ways you can be there for your kid, so be sure to stick around for that one. And as a mental health expert, before we move on to the lies, I do want to say that I know that even though homesickness is a normal transition and it's manageable for most students with some support, there are times when it's a safety issue or ongoing distress that more immediate attention is needed. If you are worried about that, please seek help. Okay, let's move into lie 1. Lie 1 is they chose the wrong school. Your brain tries to convince you it's the distance, it's the size, it's the classes that are making your student homesick, and you want to transfer your baby out of there as soon as possible. The reality is homesickness is a signal of adjustment, not a verdict on the school. New surroundings take time to get used to, whether you're 10 minutes away or 10 hours away. I have a student that's 15 minutes away and one that's 4 hours away, and they both have to do the work of adjusting to their new surroundings. So here's your mental reframe. Homesickness isn't proof that we chose wrong, that they chose wrong. It means my student has work to do to make this place feel like home. Here's lie 2. If my student is homesick, they weren't ready for college. With this lie, your brain goes down a rabbit hole. I wish they would have taken harder classes in high school, or I kind of worried that they didn't have what it takes to be a college student. The reality is, homesickness is not a measure of readiness. It's simply a sign of adjustment. College is a full life shift, socially, emotionally, academically, logistically. Even the most confident and accomplished students going into freshman year get thrown off their game. So here's your helpful reframe. Readiness and emotional adjustment are two completely different animals. Homesickness isn't poor preparation, it's a response to big change. So, homesickness is not a sign your kid went to the wrong school. It's not a sign they weren't ready. Let's move on to lie number 3. 3 gets supercharged by social media, which is everyone else's kid seems to be doing just fine, so there must be something wrong with how my kid is doing college because they're homesick. You get off the phone with your struggling student and hop on Instagram, and you see your friend's college kid at a game, and it's like, oh, big group of friends, and hashtag best year ever. And your stomach drops. Why isn't that my kid? Something must be wrong with my kid if they're crying and lonely and not loving this college life like they're supposed to. Here's what's true. Social media is a highlight reel, not real life. Adjustment is individual with no standard timeline. Some get out of the gate fast and then hit a wall mid-year. Others warm up slowly and may never fully love freshman year or college. Comparing your kids behind the scenes to someone else's polished post distorts reality and fuels shame. I want you to put on blinders. When comparison creeps in, I want you to remind yourself every student struggles with something. My job is to support and not keep score. And really have a chat with your kid about this reality too, because my guess is their brain is lying to them about the same thing. Hey, if you've ever caught yourself comparing your students' experience to others, I know I have, drop a heart in the comments so we can see that we're all in this together. Lie 4 targets you. My student is homesick, so I must have done something wrong as a parent. For a lot of parents, every "I read it here" text results in this quick sprint to self-blame. Did I not prepare them enough? Was I too involved? Was I not involved enough? Here's the reality again. Homesickness is a normal developmental phase of college. It is not a parent report card. It is part of learning a new world, not proof of your mistakes. Sass back that lie. Homesickness isn't a red flag, and it's not my fault. It's an expected part of college, and I cannot take away every bump if I want them to grow. So to recap, homesickness is not they picked the wrong school, they weren't ready, they're doing it wrong, it's my fault as a parent. All right, this is the one that I said might surprise you, and it actually removes one of your most important tools for helping your kid cope. Lie 5 is, if I let my kid talk too much about homesickness, I'm feeding a problem. It's pretty common that our brains fear that if I let them talk too much about this, they'll wallow. Or if I don't move them along, they're going to get stuck and never figure out how to get out of homesickness. As a mental health expert, I can tell you what's really true. Avoiding the topic does not make the feelings disappear. It just pushes them deeper and then adds a layer of shame. It actually increases their feelings of isolation and stalls coping instead of moving them through homesickness faster or any problem. Here's how to talk back to that lie. My kids need a safe place to fall apart with me so they can hold it together out there. There are times to make suggestions to help kids move through homesickness, of course, but listening always comes first. Actually, the other videos in this playlist talk about that very thing, those suggestions. I'll put a link in the comments so you can watch those other videos. I realize that just because you tackle the lies your brain feeds you, it doesn't mean that for some students, the hard reality of should they stay in school, should they transfer, take a gap year, that those issues don't need to be addressed. If that's your student now or a month from now, I can help you get started by walking through some of the hard questions to ask to see what makes sense for your student. And most importantly, how to do all that without shame for yourself or for your student. That's what my next video is about. I'll see you there.